Hey guys, Miss Buddha here. Before I talk about the types of quiz examples that you'll be seeing on Friday, I do want to point out that you do need to take a midterm in this class on Tuesday, January 11th. When you come back from break, the week of January 3rd through the 7th, I'll post a midterm review. It's like a practice review that you will need to complete by the 7th. You won't have to do 10 more lessons that week. I just want you to focus on the midterm review. And if you have any questions on it, we can get that cleared up before you take the actual midterm on the 11th. So with that said, let's jump into the quiz review types of questions you're going to see on quiz number 6. And this will be the last quiz for quarter 2. So it's all on probability. So the first 2 questions are on the counting principle. So at the lunch special at Jim's restaurant is a sandwich, drink, and a dessert. There are 2 sandwiches, 2 drinks, and 3 desserts to choose from. How many lunch specials are possible? So there's a couple ways you can think of these. 3 choices must be made for the special. You need a sandwich, a drink, and a dessert. So to find out how many lunch specials are possible, you use the fundamental counting principle. And what that says is that we multiply the number of possibilities for each choice. So you can see on the screen here, 2 sandwiches to choose from, times 2 drinks to choose from, times 3 desserts. So you just multiply 2 times 2 times 3, and you get 12 possible specials. Another way, if you really want to work it all out, is to model this with a tree diagram. You can choose from 2 sandwiches, and then branch that off into the 2 drinks, and then the 3 desserts, and you'll see that you have 12 actual choices that are possible. Another question will kind of give you something like this. So they're ordering a kid's lunch at Burger Universe. The customer must choose a size, whether or not to have cheese, a type of bun, a side order, and a type of fruit drink. So the list of possibilities are in that table. You need to figure out how many are possible. So this time they don't really tell you how many sizes, but you can count small, medium, large. Those are 3 choices for the size. With or without cheese, that means 2 options for the cheese. The type of bun, plain, sesame, or wheat, that gives you 3 types for the bun. The side order, you could have fries or onion rings, so that's 2. And the fruit drink is either orange or grape, so that's another 2. So if you multiply all those numbers up, 3 times 2 times 3 times 2 times 2, you get 72 possible lunches. So that's the counting principle. You'll have 2 questions on the quiz like that. Then you'll have 2 questions about probability. So you might have one that has a spinner, you might have a bag of marbles. The question varies, but the process is all the same. So the spinner has 12 equally sized slices and has 4 yellow, 3 blue, and 5 red. The dial is spun and stops at random. What is the probability that the dial stops on a yellow or a blue slice? And you need it as a fraction in simplest form. So let's backtrack here and talk about some simple probability. There are 12 options on this spinner, so that is your denominator. And how many would be red? So if I'm answering this question, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red pieces. So that fraction for probability of just picking red is 5 out of 12. And that does not reduce, so you're good there. Probability of selecting green. Well, unless you're colorblind, you should see that this spinner does not have any green on it, so that probability is 0. And the probability of yellow or blue, so it could land on a yellow or a blue spot. So if you look at the yellow, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 options for yellow, and 1, 2, 3 options for blue. So that's like 4 plus 3. That gives you 7 total spots out of the 12. Gives you the chances of landing on one of those 2 colors. Now, if the fraction could reduce, you always want to do that. All right, this one is another probability question. The bag contains 10 tiles, so that's our denominator, our total, labeled with those letters. One tile will be randomly picked. What is the probability of picking a vowel? So hopefully you know that the vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. So out of 10 tiles, you need to figure out how many are vowels. So E's a vowel and I's a vowel. Doesn't have any A's, O's, or U's. So that's 2 vowels out of 10 total. And 2 out of 10 reduces, if you divide top and bottom by 2, it divides out to 1/5. A similar question, a box contains 10 cards. So again, that's your denominator, 10 total. With those letters, you need to randomly choose a letter from Q to T. So that includes all these 4, which is 4 out of 10. And if you divide top and bottom by 2 again, you're going to get 2/5 for this one. So always, always, always reduce the fraction. And finally, the last type, it could be something similar to these 2 questions. So a drawer is filled with 3 black shirts, 8 white, and 4 gray. So you need to figure out what is the total amount. So that is 3 plus 8 plus 4. So that's 15 total shirts in the drawer. One shirt's randomly chosen. You need to find a probability that it is not white. So careful reading here. The ones that are not white, so I cross off the white, and the ones that are left are either black or gray, and that adds up to 7. So 7 out of 15 does not reduce, so that's your final answer. And lastly, the box is filled with 4 red crayons, 8 blue, and 2 yellow. So again, you need to add them up to get a total. 4 plus 8 plus 2 is 14. A crayon is chosen at random. Find the probability that it's red or yellow. So it could be red, or it also could be yellow. So that's 4 plus 2, that's 6 out of 14. And we have to reduce that, divide top and bottom by 2, and you get 3/7. Okay, so that's what the whole quiz is going to be on. You're going to have 2 of each type of probability question.